Nigeria's democracy feels like a house we keep renovating. New tiles here, new paint there, and yet we still hear the roof is leaking. Are you aware of the new Electoral Reform Bill 2025?
Yes, I'm fully aware of it.
Yes, I'm aware of the proposed Electoral Reform 2020.
Now, a new renovation is coming, and that is the Electoral Reform Bill 2025. And trust me, this one is already shaking the dining tables in Abuja. Now, according to the new electoral report, INEC is to bear the burden of proving whether election was free or fair. Now, as a Nigerian, do you trust INEC enough as far as proving whether election is free and fair is concerned in Nigeria?
I think I support INEC up to 50%. The problem now is in Nigeria we have a ruling party, and the ruling party controls the INEC. So what if the ruling party are the one controlling the INEC and INEC cannot go against the ruling party? So that's just my problem. So
at first, the last election that I actually went by, INEC didn't play a better role in the election to prove to Nigeria that they are worthy to be trusted, and they now bring a reform in which you need to prove first that you are worthy before bringing the reform. This reform is not trustworthy in my own sense.
So if the INEC will be a little bit independent from the ruling party, then it will be free and fair.
Nigeria's Electoral Reform Bill 2025 proposes two major shake-ups, shifting the burden of proof to INEC in post-election cases and giving INEC control of local government elections. There's also another part of the proposed electoral reform which says that INEC will not be in charge of conducting local government election. So who do you trust more to run our grassroots election, INEC or state government?
I think with this point I would prefer INEC to run it, because so far I've never seen a free and fair local government election. The governor just appoint you, go and take over this local government, you go and take over. But if INEC at least run the election, then a normal man could have a free chance to become a local government chairman.
The state is being trusted to conduct their election because they know in and out of what is happening in the state. The federal government, which is the INEC, does not really know. They don't have the background on what is happening in the state.
Do you think state government have mismanaged local grassroots elections in the past?
I think so, yes. In fact, we have so many records, just that we don't want to go deep into politics. But the fact, we have so many records whereby some governors have hijacked the fund of local government, some governors have refused to release funds to local government, whereby you see local government staff being incapacitated. Some of them end up using the work as if they are just going to farm.
In my state, I come from Cross River State, so it has been proven that the state government have conducted election in the past transparently, and it is been showing.
Go to the corner, to go to a local government secretariat, when nothing's happening there because there's no fund being given to them, especially running costs.
For the INEC, what they did in the federal election, it's actually not proving their enablement in conducting election.
With this reform, unlock transparency and strengthen your votes, or we are just changing the signboard while the roof still leaks? Do you think this reform, if it finally comes to stay, will make our votes count in this country?
Yes, but now my problem is, how sure are we that INEC will not be controlled by the ruling party? Because don't forget that the INEC chairman, in fact, INEC is not under any ministry but under presidency. If you are aware, INEC is under presidency, and for it to be under presidency, that means the president has the right to remove the INEC chairman, and the president is also a political office holder. So if the president is in a party, for instance, then the INEC, he can impose the law on INEC chairman. Please, this person shouldn't go to the courts, and INEC chairman has no right than to protect his or her job.
I don't think it's going to make our vote counted or matters in the country, because as it is, INEC did not prove themselves at first. I don't think now they can prove themselves to anybody.
If the INEC chairman will have a little bit of independence from the political office holder, then I think that reform will actually be very, very good for Nigeria.
With all of these responsibilities that the new electoral reform is trying to give to INEC, do you think that INEC should also face stiffer punishments should they fail?
Yes. You know, the thing is that in the rule of law, there should be carrot and stick policy. The INEC should be critically scrutinized in a situation whereby there's any corrupt officials, then they shouldn't be allowed to be in INEC, especially politically exposed members.
Definitely, it should be in the law that if INEC fail to conduct a free and fair election in any given opportunity, they should face the law.
You cannot have a member of INEC, maybe a commissioner of INEC now, supporting PDP, and you expect him not to favor his party. It shouldn't be like that. So an INEC staff should be independent. It shouldn't have a political party that he or she is supporting publicly.
This reform could either empower voters or tighten control. But when citizens pay attention, leaders behave better. Remember, in 2027, your vote is a direction and not decoration.